My brothers and sisters, this is ODJ, Otis Drip Jones, Mr. Do It Man himself. And today is Juneteenth. It's a celebration, y'all. Yeah. Juneteenth, 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 Juneteenth. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give us free. Give us free. Give us free. Give us free. Yeah. Just celebrating the lovely sounds of the awesome George Clinton with one of my favorite songs, Atomic Dog. Shout out to all the bros. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Stand up. It's a celebration, y'all. Time to celebrate. Give us free. Give us free. Juneteenth. Yeah. 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 And with that said, my brothers and sisters, it is Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the oldest commemorated celebration of the ending of slavery in the United States of America. Juneteenth. And with that said, Donald Trump, shut your ass up. You got to be the dumbest person. Lord, how in the world did you become president of the United States of America? You are so dumb. This man had the audacity to do an interview with the Wall Street Journal reporter at the White House that he made Juneteenth famous. And nobody had heard of Juneteenth. Dude, what is wrong with you? Can I say it again? Can I say it again? Donald Trump, shut your ass up. Lord have mercy. How can you be the president of the United States of America and do not know history? And that goes to show you that this man doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about our culture. It means nothing to him. But it's not going to stop me from celebrating this awesome day. It's not going to stop me from celebrating the freeing of slaves in the United States of America. Now, with that said, after Juneteenth, slaves wasn't really free. A lot of black people were still in slavery. If you do the research, even in Texas, some of those black slaves were still enslaved because they didn't know that they had been freed. And my brothers and sisters, even today, June 19, 2020, we're still slaves. We're still slaves. So if you don't think it's true, let's go do the research on all these jails where they have labor and the different companies who have their products made off of inmates. It's another form of slavery. They can pay pennies on the dollar. And these companies are getting paid millions off of their labor. The sad thing that we still have to endure such injustices in this world. But you know what? That just gives me more vigor to fight and to continue to fight and to continue to speak truth to power and to continue to push the movement that Black Lives Matter. Continue to push education. Continue to push knowing your rights. Continue to push voting. Continue to push us black people coming together as one in unity. And stop being so divided amongst ourselves. But what we need to understand is we're divided amongst ourselves because it's in our DNA. We still suffer from the effects of slavery. We still suffer from the effects of slavery. It was embedded in us. It was beaten in us to hate those that look like you and I to hate each other, because slave owners knew that if we can be divided, if we can be separate and not come together on one accord, they could always keep us down. If they could keep us from communicating, if they could keep us from being dumb, we couldn't read or write, we couldn't learn mathematics. And that's why I get so angry at our young people that squanders their education, because people die for you to have the right for education. Education is so important. When you are educated, you can make an educated decision that will advance your life. Yes, we're all going to make mistakes, but you're less likely to make a mistake when you're making an educated decision. These things are important. And it makes me angry when people that look like me don't vote, because people die so we can have that right to vote. Yes, we know politicians lie and people say what they're going to say just to get in. I can't control that, but what I can control is knowing who I'm voting for and making a choice to vote. And the only reason why I vote, my brothers and sisters, is because people died for me to have that right. Literally lost their lives. Even after it was in law that we could vote, they still hindered and hampered us from voting, took away the ballots, and all kind of different things they did to keep us from voting. So that's why we have to continue to push that we need to vote. We need to be educated. And one thing that white America is afraid of is educated black people. They're afraid of that. They're afraid of that, my brothers and sisters. They are afraid of that. So in our jovial celebrations of this day, Juneteenth, our Independence Day, I don't celebrate July 4th, and I won't celebrate July 4th ever again, because you know what we were doing July 4th, 1776? Picking and chopping cotton. We were slaves. And for so long, I celebrated that. And I remember growing up on the west side of Chicago, popping firecrackers and M80s and silver sticks to celebrate. What am I celebrating? I was so ignorant and I was so untaught. What am I celebrating? My people wasn't free July 4th, 1776. And shame on the Chicago public school system for not teaching me accurately what the history was. Shame on you, Chicago public school system, for teaching me that Columbus discovered America. Shame on you, Chicago public school system, for teaching me that July 4th, 1776, we gained independence. We did not, because black folk were still enslaved. Shame on you. Shame on you. Has become a grown man to find out about Juneteenth. You think it was one teacher my 12th grade year, Mr. Parker, Westinghouse High School. He talked about Juneteenth. But it wasn't until then that was even introduced to me. So I had went 12 years of school before Juneteenth was even introduced to me. Shame on you, Chicago public school system. And my parents wasn't educated enough to teach me the things that I need to have been taught. Thank God for their sacrifice, and thank God for them doing the best they could to raise me. But they wasn't educated enough to teach me the truth of history. But not again. When you know better, you do better. So I know better. That's why I will not celebrate July 4th ever again. And I encourage you, my brothers and sisters who look like me, don't celebrate July 4th. Don't spend any money July 4th. Don't give them the satisfaction of continuing to thrive off of our black dollars when they held us down July 4th, 1776. We were not free. Celebrate Juneteenth. June 19th, 1865. Celebrate it. And what you should do today, I encourage you, my brothers and sisters, find you a black business to spend your black dollars with. Sow into a black business. I'm sowing into my good friend and brother Andre Hatcher, who has an awesome barbecue business in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Got in touch with him, asking for his cash app, and I'm going to send him some money. Why? Because he's black. He's my friend. He's black. He has a black business. And I'm going to keep my dollars in the black community. And I encourage you to do the same. So yes, my brothers and sisters, it's a celebration. It's a celebration. Celebration. Celebrate this day. Celebrate this day. And let's celebrate this day with no crime, no murders. My Chicago people, no murders. No murders. Don't kill your brothers and sisters. This is a day of celebration, a day of peace. Let's come together and show the world that we are great people. Celebrate this day. Be proud of this day. But don't let the celebration get in the way of the task at hand. We still have injustices that we must fight. Racism, we must fight. Systemic racism, we must fight. White privilege, we must fight. The fight goes on. And we can't walk and chew gum at the same time. We can't celebrate and fight the power at the same time. My brothers and sisters, this is ODJ, Otis Drip Jones, Mr. Do It Man himself.